Apparently the pink salmon are running here too, because we just saw a fisherman who has caught a couple of them over on that side of the gravel bar. I was hoping to see him here in this, but the sunlight is not right. This river though is moving fast out to the lake. And now we're at Palisade Head, which is a high point, big rock, looking out over the lake, looking at Wisconsin in the distance there, where Mike and I were walking over 4 months ago. It's just almost impossible for me to comprehend, but that's the case. And two friends here this afternoon. You guys came out today to join us on our walk, which we appreciate. Tell us where do you guys live and what do you do?
We live in Sandstone, Minnesota, which is 60 miles south of Duluth, and I'm co-director of the Audubon Center of the North Woods, where Mike was the founding director for 38 years. And Kat, where do you work?
I am currently working on an organic vegetable farm called Finca.
All right, and you're also going to be you're an artist, and you're going to be doing some mural painting at the center, right?
Right.
And Brian is also a musician, so as well as being the director, you perform and sing and play
Yeah, my
guitar.
dad and I were able to play for you and Mike to start you off in April at Canal Park, so that was fun to be a part of that. And that was the last time that we saw you both, so now it's fun to come back and join you for part of the hike here before you finish up.
Ryan, you didn't grow up in Duluth or near the lake, did you?
No, I grew up in Sartell, which is a little community north of St. Cloud, and got introduced to the outdoors and the water with my dad and my family. And in college I went to UMD, so that's where I got really familiar with Lake Superior and learned how to sea kayak in Lake Superior and river kayak near it as well, and really developed a love for it and got very used to seeing it every day when I was living here. When I moved away it felt very strange, so I always enjoy coming back and spending some time next to the lake, seeing its different colors and different moods.
And Kat, when was the first time you saw this lake?
The very first time I saw the lake, I think, was in January of 2007. The edges were frozen. It was bitter cold, and the wind was blowing, and we were up in Duluth, and it's hard to imagine that people actually voluntarily would live by it at that point. But then I got to see it throughout the seasons. And
was that a staff training?
Yeah.
That you came up for? So where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Germany.
Okay. And just so happened to come to the Audubon Center in 2007, the same time that Brian was, what were you doing then?
Well, Mike had called me up the month before wondering if I would be able to help out with a college class that he was teaching. And I had finished up working as a park ranger at Voyageurs National Park, and I didn't have anything at the time, so I said, sure, that sounds good, and then met Kat there. And
yeah, we'll give you full credit, Mike. Thanks.
And the rest is history.
Yeah,
that's right.
As they say.
Everything just worked out from there on both ends.
From both sides.
Both sides, yeah. Work and Kat.
Yep, that's for sure. And so do you have any particular concerns about the lake when you think about it in the future?
Well, I hope that as much of the natural shoreline can stay that way as possible, so that people can enjoy it, and also we keep the natural and primitive character of it. I know that its life cycle is very slow, so whatever we put into this lake stays here for almost 200 years, and we need to be watchful and careful about that. And since it does have so much of the world's fresh water, this is a great reserve and natural basin that demands our respect and treating it with as good a practices as we can.
And Kat, I was just thinking of something. When you were growing up, or maybe you can speak a little bit about the Germans and whether they, or the people you know over there, had any idea about this lake, or?
Well, geographically I knew it was a point on the map, but I think the first time you get to see it in person, it's very different than anything you would ever imagine, because it looks so much like the ocean, and that's the only thing I'd ever seen before.
That big.
That, yeah, a lake that large. And then you kind of expect it to feel like the ocean too when you go down and you touch it, but it's so much colder than where you typically would go on a vacation to see the ocean. And of course it's fresh water.
Yep. So it doesn't.
So it always tastes better when you go swimming in the ocean.
If you do get into the water.
Yeah, and one of the things that I noticed about it, that like one of the things that I really liked about it when I first saw it, and I still love it now, but it's, for me, like the defining characteristic of it was the color, because I'd never seen anything that was that color. And I remember standing up on at the lighthouse, Split Rock, and just looking straight down into the water, and it was that same January day, and there were flurries in the air, and the way the wind was hitting the rocks, it looked like the snow was coming up at us.
Wow.
And the water was just this, I talked to people about it at home, and I actually call it Lake Superior Blue, because it's this mix of turquoise and dark blue and light blue, and it's
I like
emerald
that.
green.
yeah, it's its own color, and I just call it Lake Superior Blue.
Well, I like that description. I may have to use that too, because it is really hard. The only other way I've described it is Caribbean colored. Because
yeah, I don't even feel that does a credit. I don't even think that's. Yeah.
There were certain beaches we were at this summer, that white sand beaches, you know, and then the water would be that turquoise color in places, and so that's our only reference point.
Right. Yeah, that's about as close as you can compare it to.
But then again, you look out at it and it can look, pretty slaty gray and steely gray, depending on the sun and the cloud features. That's, I guess, what some of us really love about it, the fact that every day it looks different.
Yeah.
Today it's fairly calm over on this side, no whitecaps anyway. Brian said earlier, it looks like probably a day you would have liked for the Voyager canoe. Yes, that's true. Well, anyway, we've had a great day to walk, and we're glad you came with us and joined us on this portion.
Well, we're glad to be a part of it.
We'll see you on Saturday.
Yep.
All right.